Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself, Suprit, and this is the AEW Dynamite review for November 4th, 2020. And I'm joined by Abisheik Aneja, aka Abby Maniac. What's up, Abby?
I'm absolutely fine, Suprit. How about you?
I'm doing good, but I'm still a little tired as fuck.
I can understand after watching the show and making the notes, and that is what this thing is. We have to do that. That is what we love, and I can understand that. But you would be very, you can say, excited as I am with regards to the card of Full Gear.
Yeah, and for that reason, we are about to do a prediction for the pay-per-view too.
Yes, that would be at the end of this review.
Yes, and but back to my point that I'm tired as fuck. And by next week, I believe I'll be dead because I'll be watching back to back wrestling pay per views.
Oh, all right.
So, what did you think about Dynamite this week? The go home show for Full Gear.
Uh, it was decent, I should say. The fact is that uh, there was more focus as it should be on the video packages and, of course, the storytelling with regards to the pay-per-view. So I guess they did their part to the best of their ability. And the segment involving John Moxley and Eddie Kingston was fantastic.
I also agree on that same point because I can say that the wrestling on the show was not that strong. But yeah, I will agree that the video packages, the promos, they were excellent.
Yes, and that was the point actually for the go home show, that you have to sell the pay-per-view, that you have to make the fans watch. Uh, Regardless that you have to get the fans there or you have to get them to watch, get the pay-per-view, to order the pay-per-view on Fight or BR Live. So they did their job with regards to all the feuds that are there, except the NWA World Women's World Championship match. There was no mention of that, and we can understand that because it is a 2 hour show, and that the said match is of partner promotion. So they didn't give much of the airtime this week. They did give it last week. So understandable.
So in this week's Dynamite, we had MJF and Wardlow facing Sammy Guevara and Ortiz. Young Bucks faced Private Party. We also had Miro versus Trent. Eddie Kingston and John Moxley had a face-to-face. The bastard Pat, he broke his silence. And the main event was Cody and the Gun Club versus the Dark Order and so much more. But before that, if you are new to this channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications. We here in Slam of Wrestling cover all pro wrestling related stuff, including reviews for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and New Japan as well. And also make sure to stay with us till the end as we'll be doing predictions for full gear. So this week's Dynamite kicks off with Chris Jericho. So he was being interviewed. He starts off by congratulating Jake Hager for his recent win in Bellator. In comes MJF. He talks about the problems between them recently and says he doesn't want any issues or problems. So Jericho says that MJF has everything except that killer instinct that the inner circle has. Jericho calls MJF soft. So after that, Jericho joins the commentary team as we had the first match of the night. It was MJF and Wardlow versus Sammy Guevara and Ortiz. So Wardlow and Ortiz begin the match. Wardlow was dominating early on. So tag made to MJF as Ortiz was isolated in the corner. MJF is working on the arm of Ortiz. Tagged to Wardlow, he continued the attack as MJF was tagged back in. At one point, MJF was, almost hit Wardlow. This allowed Ortiz to hit an enziguri on MJF. A tag made to Guevara. He runs wild on MJF and Wardlow with some kicks and knee strikes. He hits dives on both Wardlow and MJF. Back in, MJF was set up on the top. Wardlow takes out Guevara. Ortiz with a dropkick to Wardlow. MJF with a double foot stomp on the arm of Ortiz. Ortiz makes a comeback. He clotheslines Wardlow to the outside. So we had a little stare down between Guevara and MJF. Quick exchanges from both men. MJF with a thumb to the eye. Guevara with the knee strike and the GTH for a 2 count. Double team moves on Wardlow. Guevara and Ortiz tried for a double superplex on MJF. Wardlow was back up, and we get a Tower of Doom spot. Wardlow hits the F10 on Ortiz. Guevara breaks the pin with a frog splash. Guevara takes MJF to the outside. So Matt Hardy was wearing a Serpentico mask. So he swings a chair at Guevara. Back in, MJF got the sort of the earth submission on Ortiz for the win, and that was it. It was a decent match. So what they did was they tried to make Guevara look like a babyface here, which has been the story lately regarding him. And yeah, that was pretty much it. What did you think about this match?
Yes, I also would agree with the sentiment with regards to Guevara. He had a ton of offense, uh, which was very babyface-esque. And yes, it was a good match and it was a good victory. And with regards to the rundown and the story of the match, it was basically that Ortiz and and Guevara uh, did not want MJF to be the part of their family, their faction inner circle. They said it outright. So that is why this match was basically scheduled for this broadcast. And also, MJF versus Chris Jericho is booked for Full Gear. If MJF wins, he would be a part of their faction. So basically, Jericho is it is also an advantageous position for Jericho that Ortiz and Guevara can soften MJF up for more him up basically for their leader Jericho for a quick night at the pay-per-view, so to speak. And MJF initially was wrestling quote unquote smart, as we saw him getting any piece of the action only when his opponent was grounded and wounded. Wardlow was doing all of the dirty work as they isolated Ortiz in their corner and basically pummeled him. And Sammy Guevara looked sharp in his offense, as I just said tonight with his knee strikes, and he showcased his unmatched athleticism in the process. And he had his eye on MJF. It looked very, you can say, intense between those two. Maybe we could have a feud between those two competitors down the line. We have to see, or maybe some program, maybe some tiff between the two. We have to see that. And basically, Guevara wanted to beat MJF up bad. And there was one time that Guevara hit a 450 springboard Polish hammer on the outside on MJF. That was fucking insane. That looked insane. But he got psyched out by, as you said, his opponent who is about to face him at full gear, Matt Hardy, with a Sabu-esque steel chair shot. He was psyched. And MJF logged in the salt of the earth Fujiwara Ambar on Ortiz to get the victory. And this was followed by the attack that was the top rope drop kick to the arm by MJF, thus inflicting more pain to the already injured body part. And you just mentioned that MJF was relentlessly attacking the said arm. Uh, I catch that I only saw the dropkick spot when he was targeting the arm. So probably was Ortiz selling that arm so much that it was apparent to the viewer that it is hurt or not? I'm
No,
asking you.
no, so they did, I think, basic working on the arm. Like they start the match off
Okay.
in that way,
Mm-hmm.
and
So,
there was not a lot of selling from Ortiz too.
mm-hmm. So that is a problem with regards to that. Then uh, it just the only offense which was just you can say just out which blasted to the viewer that uh, it literally injured Ortiz or it was of much impact was that drop kick to the arm from the top rope. That was the only thing that was apparent to me. I didn't see any of the other stuff which you picked up because if it were there, Ortiz should have sold it to the camera and to the audience as well that MJF is targeting his arm and he would be doing that to conquer the victory with the Fujiwara Amba, that is the salt of the earth, his finishing maneuver. So it is bad on the part of Ortiz basically. And as I have already written that they should have accentuated the said injury a bit more, but they had to fill the time up with their indie quote unquote spots. So who am I to say, basically? Nonetheless, it was a good match and a good victory to going in the pay-per-view, of course, against the demo god Chris Jericho. And post-match, first you have to run down a bit what happened post-match.
Post match, MJF asks Jericho whether he's still soft or not, and he attacks him on commentary as the inner circle and MJF. Sorry, I said MJF. Wardlow separate them, and that was
Yes.
it.
I can say that it was, you can say, mission accomplished on the part of MJF as he showed his quote unquote killer instinct with the post match attack on Jericho sitting on the commentary booth. Uh, they were they are now fighting each other at full gear. So maybe what we saw in the match and what he did post match, just ramming him to the said posters and things, and it shows an instinct to do anything necessary to win. So probably it says to the viewer that yes, whatever they said in the uh, interaction pre-match, they accomplished it. They did it. So there was consistency in the storytelling, so to speak.
Speaking about the demo god, so he recently got in trouble on Twitter regarding something he said. Something he said regarding the current elections that is going on in the United States. So thoughts on that?
I basically I have no thoughts regarding it. Basically, people have different opinions or difference of opinion, and it is 2020. It is the SJW era. So the thing is, people want a narrative or an opinion to be the same as theirs. If it is anything different or it is uh, anywhere close to uh, different from their mind, so it creates a reaction. So I I do not have any opinion against it. If he endorses someone, If he endorses that right wing guy, I have no problem. If he endorses someone from the left wing, it is his choice, it is his personal choice. So whatever he does, it is his problem. I have to only concentrate on the wrestling realm, what he does in wrestling. He also was criticized for his uh, concert thing. It happened concert thing, and then many news came about afterwards and stuff like that. It is his personal matter, and also the people who attended that concert basically. So it is very, you can say, an opinionated based thing. So basically, I do not want to judge anyone. Basically, not the people who are triggered by it, and not even Chris Jericho, and not even any other uh, people who are criticizing him, or even who are loving the fact that what he says is right. So basically, have an opinion, do what you want. Basically, I have nothing against you. Please do your thing. Be at peace. At this time, there are in many countries, it is happening that uh, mandates are going on. Mandatory stuff is happening, and people's fundamental rights are being, questioned. So it it is making a lot of people angry or questioning their stuff, or many people are just accepting that yes, it is for our own good. So it is your opinion, it is your life. So do as it may. Please do not force your beliefs and what your opinion is on others, and troll other people on social media saying that you are stupid and you are this, you are that. It is his opinion. Maybe he is endorsing someone based on his wealth, that it would benefit his wealth, his tax bracket, stuff like that. We do not even know that what his reasoning is with regards to the stuff that he does. So please, if you love to troll, if you love to get a reaction, please do it. I have no problem against it. But with regards to being at peace, being sane, and doing my job, and just growing as a person, it is what it is. I have no opinion or even hate or love with regards to this thing, the political stuff or anything other than wrestling with regards to Chris Jericho.
Back to Dynamite, we had the interview segments for both Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Shivani was interviewing Omega in a house, so he was playing with a dog. Important note here, that was not his house and that was not his dog. So Omega said he has relocated temporarily to focus on the tournament. He said yeah, so he said he could have used his powers to ask Tony Khan for an easy buy in the tournament, but he instead decided to go through the entire tournament. Omega said that he was actually expecting Wardlow to be in the finals. Omega talks about excelling in every tournament he has ever been in, and confidently says he's gonna win and go on to be AEW World Champion. So on the other hand, we had JR. So he was interviewing Hangman Adam Page. So Page had his usual drink in his hand. He asked Page whether he's nervous about facing Kenny Omega in the finals. Page said that he's prepared and he's gonna beat Omega. And if he doesn't win, then he will have nothing except for this glass of whiskey.
Hmm. Yeah, it is good stuff with regards to you can say that first we saw Kenny being self-obsessed prick, so to speak, and patting himself on the back kind of guy, and saying in the camera that you all know my track records in the tournaments, and if you are basically an intelligent person, and the betting odds are there that who would you pick? Basically, I am basically a clear winner here, and I was basically when I joined this promotion, I was expected from the fans to be the world champion, so to speak, to carry this promotion on my back, just like I did in my latter days in Japan when I won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. I was not the face, but still, he was the he was the face for the English viewers. So that is what his point of view is, that he is on a pedestal and he is a step, many steps above Hangman Adam Page, and it is easy that he is going to basically win. And on the contrary, we see Hangman Page, fucking alcoholic. He says in his sit down interview that this opportunity on Sunday is the closest that he's ever gotten to the world championship ever since the inception of the promotion. He didn't become the first ever champion. He he didn't become the face of the company. There was a lot of talk at the start of the promotion that Hangman Adam Page would be the face of this company, the face for the younger audience. So it didn't happen basically. So if he loses, as you said, if he loses against the tournament specialist, Kenny Omega, I guess, at Full Gear, he doesn't know what to do except his routine of being a drunk and suppressing his pain and feelings.
We had Miro versus Trent. So the backstory of this match was, other than the breaking of arcade machines, there is also some story between these two. As it was said that Miro was the young boy for Trent when they were in FCW. Am I right?
Wow, wow, uh, wow. That I didn't know.
So so before the match even began, Miro talked some shit to Trent, even bringing up Sue's name. So Trent got pissed and drop kicks Miro. So Miro blocks a tornado DDT. Miro with a overhead suplex. This gets a 2 count. Miro is in control, dominating Trent. Cape Sabian tries to interfere, but he gets chased to the back by Chuck. Back in Miro is in offense until Trent tried for a comeback but gets sent to the outside. Orange Cassidy tries to cheer Trent. Penelope Ford stops him and a slap to the face. Cassidy loses his glasses, so what he does, he takes Penelope Ford's glasses and puts it on. So after that, Dark Order, led by John Silver, attack Cassidy. Referee sends all of them to the back. Back in Trent makes a big comeback finally, trying to knock down Miro. Miro misses a splash in the corner. Trent with a roller for a 2 count. He went for a running knee, but Miro catches him and slams him to the mat. Miro misses a Mashka kick. Trent with another roll up for a 2 count. Miro to the outside. Trent with a dive. Back in, Trent hits a Busaiko running knee for a 2 count. Trent went for a springboard but tripped. And Miro was able to capitalize, hitting the Mashka kick and the game over for the win. And that was it. So the match was decent, even though there were some outside drama. Both men looked good, but still, even even though Miro had a good showing here, I'm still not interested in this Miro and Sabian pairing they have going on. But what did you think about this match?
Uh, this was a competitive match, so there was no problem with regards to that, and I can understand. your skepticism with regards to this pairing, but they have tried to do this pairing with regards to a real thing being in real. The gamers, they both like gaming, they both like streaming, so that is why they have put themselves together, and maybe it could manifest into something good in the future. They just have to give them something concrete and basically have them build some camaraderie or something like that to make it work. Right now, what we saw in this match was basically two men who were fighting their own fights. And it, I can understand, but yes, for the times to come, we can give them a little slack. Probably it would be a little better as the time progresses and they are given a slightly better opportunity or a slightly better story to sink their teeth into. Probably it would be better. But nonetheless, uh, basically, as you said, Trent destroyed Kip Sabian's arcade machine, which Miro got him as a gift ringside when best friends faced FTR for the gold. The bout started off with the classic mom insult, which Miro basically, which gets Trent all riled up. Sabian takes care, or I should say, Chucky T takes care of Kip Sabian in the midst of the match by engaging in a brawl, and they go through the crowd to the backstage, and we are left with Penelope and Cassidy ringside. And there was a point with Jericho again that Jericho meant to say the term trash to Cassidy, but the sequence of words just created a whole another story. Uh, to the viewers and to the commentators, uh, it got to their head that Jericho was saying the term trash with regards to Penelope, which was not the case. Uh, but if it were WWF Attitude Era, it would have just passed. No, nothing, not to worry. But we are living in the SGW era. So the thing is, the sequence of words just created a whole another story, which led to the commentators calming him down. You gotta love it. You gotta love it, basically. And we came back from the break, and we get to know that we had a run in from the Dark Order with John Silver leading the charge and ambushing his full gear opponent, Orange Cassidy, which is good. You are building your match for the pay per view. It is great stuff. Basically, as I just said, a great competitive match. At the end, Trent slipped up on the top rope, unnecessary risk, and paid for it as Miro capitalized via locking him in the game over submission, that is basically the camel clutch for the victory. And there was also a post match interaction.
Yeah, so Miro continued the assault on Trent until Chuck came for the save. Sabian takes out Chuck, so Miro cuts a promo on Trent, still talking shit to him and his mother. Orange Cassidy is back, takes out Miro and Sabian with a dive, and that was it.
How the hell that he comes from? Where the hell? Now, I could, I can see a possible tag team match or basically maybe even a trios match between the two teams uh, could be on the horizon. And Kip and Trent also intensified their animosity with their interactions during the match and also post match. And basically, how can we forget about Pockets, Orange Cassidy? I guess I guess he would be facing Miro in singles action down the line. It seems, but I am a little bit skeptical that it may lead to a halt in the momentum for Miro, because if they both fight it out fairly in singles action, we all know that Pockets would get the victory and not Miro, which is bad considering that we are just getting started with Miro and getting to know him and what he is capable of in the ring. And regardless of if you are a WWE fan or an AEW fan or a wrestling fan, but you have to build him up in the new promotion. So, nonetheless, what the situation is with regards to these two groups, it is good. We have to see what happens next.
I just wanted to clarify something. Weren't we supposed to get Scorpio Sky versus who the hell is that guy?
Sean Spears.
Sean Spears this week.
I guess probably yes, but they thought that full gear is more important, and they filled it up with backstage segments and interview segments, which are basically more important for the build of the pay-per-view. So it is understandable, but yes, it is bad on the part of the booking team that they announced it beforehand last week and they didn't get it through this week.
Or will they add it to the buy-in?
They can if the time gives in. The only match they have in the buy-in is the NWA Women's Championship, Alison Kay versus Serena Deeb. So if there is time, they can. If they cannot, they would probably book it on the next Dynamite.
So we had Team Taz coming out. So Taz is pissed because why not? Uh, he said he waited 3 hours outside Tony Khan's office, but finds out that TK is busy. Taz said he was forced to come out here with a live mic. He talks about the ranking system that AEW is doing right now. He said both of his men have won their last 10 to 11 matches in a row. But Cage is ranked number one, while Starks is not even ranked. Starks got on the mic. He said he has proven his worth in AEW, and he's mad that he's not ranked. Starks mentions how they don't even have a match at the pay-per-view. Taz then calls out Cody and Darby Allin. He says they both will have matches at the pay-per-view. He says just like Cody, uh, even Team Taz has done the work, but it looks like Team Taz is getting worked. He said he said there will be a FTW presence at Full Gear, and that was it. Great promo by Taz here, and it's clear either Cage or Starks will be in the contention for the TNT Championship after Full Gear.
Mhm. I agree, and it is also you can say fair and logical, because this thing we were uh, saying that and we discussed it on our review when it was announced that Darby Allin is getting a TNT title shot, just out of nothing, that he is getting a title shot, and Darby's situation with Team Taz was unfinished. So uh, basically, this only seems logical that they would be ringside or in the shadows lurking. So it is good, it is logical, and whatever happens, if Darby Allin wins, then he would be facing one of the members of Team Taz, probably first Starks or probably, and then Brian Cage, or maybe straight up Brian Cage, because he has beaten Ricky Starks in their last bout. So, and any other thing with regards to that? No, that's it. And there, I give this or should I not? There is a rumor, basically, with regards to a legend coming in, making his presence felt at the pay-per-view. Eh, it he could be there, he could not be there, but the appearances, the shenanigans of Darby Allin in the arena, it is quite very well indicating that that guy might be of some impact at full gear, or maybe he could be of some importance in the said story, probably. So, should I say his name, or it would just ruin it for the fans?
I don't know. That guy coming to an AEW pay per view is like CM Punk going back to WWE.
Uh, but the fact is that there has been also a thing that his merchandise shop has been removed at WWE shop too. There was also a thing uh, recently. So it may happen, it may not happen. But the thing is, if it happens, it could be great that he has a legit good match. Uh, Probably not against Darby Allin, of course. If he has a match, it would be against a safe storytelling guy, and it would most probably be Cody Rhodes. So let's just see what happens. We are not, we have said enough, but we would not say his name to ruin it, of course,
Let's save it for
any
the
more.
predictions.
Yes.
So we had a private party versus the Young Bucks. This went around 13 minutes. Matt Hardy was out with Private Party, but he gets taken out by Guevara, who hit a twist of fate on the ramp. So match begins. Nick and Quen start. Nick is working on the arms of Quen, followed by a big arm drag off the ropes. Tag made to Matt. Tag made to Cassidy. The Bucks are in control as we see double team moves on Cassidy. The Bucks did a dive on Quen and Cassidy on the outside. Matt was favoring his injured leg here. Back in Private Party made a comeback. Double team moves on Nick. They send the Bucks to the outside and they hit dives of their own. At one point, Nick was trying to avoid gin and juice, but Private Party was able to hit their finisher. Matt was able to break up the pin even though he was favoring his leg. Quen misses a shooting star and gets a spear from Matt. Bucks were going for the Meltzer driver here, and they did their whole reversal spot. Matt and Cassidy got some great near falls here. At the end, it was the Bucks hitting the BTE trigger on Cassidy for the win, and that was it. So basically, this match was not meant to be a great match of the night, but instead, they had a very basic TV match. I think it could be then the Bucks saving something for the pay per view. What did you
Mhm.
think about this match?
Yes, it was a decent match, and uh, it was competitive. It didn't look like even a single team was at a stretch at an advantage of the other team. So, and at one point, I was kind of surprised that the commentator Excalibur said that Matt Jackson has injured in the initial part of the match itself, that he was injured and FTR targeted his right knee. But then the match went on. I saw Matt Jackson favoring his left leg. So I said, what the fuck is happening? That either the commentator is out of it, or I guess Matt Jackson is maybe out of it, that he doesn't remember that which leg they targeted last week. So I just said probably it is the left knee. Commentators and should have a better view and knowledge of this, that what happened last week, and the competitors also should take note of this. So that's also a critical point of your story. So it is just bad, I should say. And with regards to the story between these two teams, that was that Private Party have beaten the Bucks in the first round to crown the first ever tag team champions. Young Bucks pinned Private Party in the Fatal 4-Way match to crown the number one contenders for the FTR straps for Full Gear. Isaiah Cassidy, the guy who got pinned, had challenged the pinfall that one of his shoulders was up. That is why Private Party have been given this opportunity to compete against the Young Bucks. This was what Excalibur said in his commentary with regards to the story and why was this match booked for this show. So that's it. And Matt Jackson was attacked and injured post the aforementioned Fatal 4-Way bout by FTR and Tully Blanchard. They attacked his, I don't know, right leg or left leg, thereby softening him up for their bout at Full Gear. And then, of course, the added stipulation, self-imposed
Let's
by
let's let's
Matt.
let let's let let's let let's save it for the predictions. That part, the stipulation.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So, with regards to the match, it was a competitive match, as I just said. The gin and juice pinfall attempt was close as fuck, and the callback to the last two bouts in AEW, to their last two bouts, was insane. With the roll-up exchange sequence, I literally thought in the moment that this time it was going to be Private Party, and but alas, basically, Bucks sealed it with the super kick and the BTE trigger. That was what happened in the match, and there was also a post-match interaction.
So the Bucks are celebrating, but out comes FTR and Tully Blanchard. So they once again attack the Bucks, and they were once again about to injure Matt's injured leg. But in comes Hangman Page for the save, followed by Kenny Omega. So Omega and Page had a little face off, and that was it.
Yes. Uh, with regards to this, I just a little clarification. Uh, They were trying to injure his other leg.
Did they?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This time they had the other leg, because the fact is this was the leg which he was not favoring, in my opinion. He was not favoring, probably. It is a whole clusterfuck. Let's just forget it. Basically, they are not good at selling. We have just said it, except what the pack injury. Oh, let's just skip over this
Let's
shit.
talk about the face-to-face between John Moxley and Eddie Kingston.
Hmm.
So Tony Schiavone was out to host this face-to-face. So what happened was Tony Khan had announced that if there was any physical altercation here, then their title match is off the pay-per-view. Kingston is out first. He tells Shivani to hold the mic properly. Moxley was out next. Kingston tells Shivani to get out of the ring. Both men are literally face to face. Kingston said it's because of this championship that his mother doesn't have a grandkid and a daughter-in-law, and said that he's taking the title of Moxley at the pay-per-view. Moxley got the mic. He said how Kingston has been disrespectful towards his loyalty. Moxley said that he was happy for Kingston and his mother, whom he had promised something, a promise that Kingston could keep. Moxley talked about Kingston's 18-year journey. So Kingston had heard enough and he walks away. Moxley ended by saying that he will make him say, I quit at full gear. So I didn't cover it a lot here, but I can say that this was really a great segment. I would say it was very similar to the promo that Cody cut last year in terms of the realism and how it sounded like it came straight from the heart. What did you think about this segment?
Yes, it felt so much. There was so much real stuff, and it just resonated. And many, I should say, I really felt that emotion, and maybe even many viewers would have felt that emotion. The fact is, the 18-year journey, and now getting an opportunity for the World Championship. Basically, it is a a payday and of sorts, and you get that pay, you get that prestige, you get that recognition. It is huge. And the fact that the words and the stuff that was said between the two, and the history that they have been together before, and then Dean Ambrose got the opportunity in WWE. Basically, he went to FCW, got the opportunity, and got to the top. He was the world champion there, and now he is here. He is the world champion here. Eddie Kingston was scratching in the independent scene. He didn't get any of that. He was recently in NWA Power, and that was the only thing. And he has wrestled in various other promotions, Evolve, Progress, and other promotions. So basically, he had to scratch for everything. Still, after 18 years of doing that work, being a killer on the microphone, basically, and he gets the fan invested. And even in this promo, when he just left, he said that I am going to kill you. Basically, what he said, I will cut you, I will kill you, and you will have to basically kill me to get the victory. So it is real raw emotion coming out in the promo. That is what basically gets the fan invested, when real meets real, and when there is that much intensity, and you can channel that outside, and you can get the fan invested, and there is stake involved, that is the AEW World Championship, and it is the, I guess, the main event of the pay-per-view. So, and it is an I Quit match, so the stakes are even higher, that one of the guys have to say the words I quit, and both the guys have been uh, in hardcore matches, death match, and you can expect anything and everything from this match. It could be insane, and of course the other matches also on the card. This pay-per-view could be one of the best, basically. that AEW have ever given till date, probably. Eh, The only thing that is missing would be the fans in attendance. That also is now restricted to uh, now being bumped to 1000. But it could very well be one of the best shows, probably.
Speaking about the best, we had a video package from the bastard PAC. So he was in some. He was in some location watching Dynamite. He talks about being in isolation for the last 7 months, and said as the days pass by, he is getting better, stronger, and more obsessed. Basically, he's saying that he wants to murder someone, and I think that someone is going to be Eddie Kingston, who took away the Lucha Bros from him.
That is what it seems. So it is great that it seems logical, obviously. It seems logical, and when he comes back, it would be great. He is one of the best pro wrestlers on the planet, and he would be a welcome addition when he comes back to compete on AEW television.
Speaking about Lucha Bros, we will get another Phoenix versus Penta match next week.
Great.
We had the Natural Nightmares. They were being interviewed until the bunny comes out. She said she has maxed out all of QT Marshall's credit card. Then the Butcher and Blade attack Natural Nightmares, left them laying in the backstage. So we getting so we are getting another tag. I think getting a tag team match between the two next week.
Yes. Great. Great. Simple and it's great.
No
But
explanation
we
needed.
have no explanation needed. No, nothing.
Um,
The explanation which she did, it was the same which Excalibur said on commentary. It was nothing more and nothing less. So it just shows that how much investment these guys want in this story. Lackadaisical, basically. It shows the lack of effort.
we had Nyla Rose versus Red Velvet. Brandy Rhodes was out with Red Velvet. I assume Red Velvet has also joined the Nightmare family too.
It's pretty easy. Who isn't at this point?
Velvet started strong with a running dropkick and was working on Rose in the corner. Rose got up, runs through Velvet. Velvet tried to get some offense, but so she tried to knock down Rose. Was on the top rope. Rose catches her and hits a beast bomb. Rose then hits the Tamashi running knee strike for the win, which was done to mock Shida, who was ringside. Vicky Guerrero on the mic, she calls out Red Velvet for aligning herself with Brandy Rhodes. She says Brandy Rhodes should be the chief bullshit officer of AEW. Okay, so Vicky then talks some shit to Shida, telling her to enjoy the last 3 days as champion. Shida had heard enough and grabbed Vicky by the neck. Shida and Rose brawled a little, and that was it. So what happened here was they teased something with Brandy Rhodes and Nyla Rose after Full Gear, and that was a little interaction that Shida and Rose have before their championship match at Full Gear.
Hmm. No- It was basically okay that yes, you have to get something for the pay-per-view. They did that, and it is what it is. So they didn't build anything for the women, and the only competitive women who were there competing, though those were Serena Deeb, Thunder Rosa, and I guess Britt Baker is already only right now engaging in enhancement talent matches because you have suggested it, so it is on you, basically. So right now they just uh, came to the realization that we have a pay-per-view. If we don't have a women's championship match of our company, so it would look bad. It would not be PC. So what should we do? So we should book the only woman who is competent enough, who looks legit enough to challenge for the championship. That would be Nyla Rose. So they just gave it up on a silver platter, and then the only interaction which we saw was today, and it it was not up to par in my opinion. Whatever they did, it's good. It's whatever they thought of, that whatever they have to put in with regards to the said match. I am more interested in watching the NWA Women's Championship match than the AEW Women's Championship match, to be very honest. And there might be a title change here in the AEW Women's Championship match because Shida has had the belt for a long time. So it there might be a change. If there is a change, good on them. That there might be a change. There would be more different kind of matches, and there would be different scenarios which could be played. So a change would be good, probably.
Video package for Darby Allin. So he got into a car that was spray painted, and it said "Face of TNT." We had a dude with a Cody mask on. Nothing much here. Allin ran.
And a cigar, and a cigar.
Yes,
Don't
yes.
forget that.
So he also had a cigar. Like you said.
It was a
Allin.
nightmare cigar, probably. Uh, I guess Kazarian and Cody
Cody.
did. Yes, they both did a thing with regards to that cigar.
So nothing much here. Darby Allin ran over this dude with a car. The end.
So much quality content, courtesy of Darby Allen. But I am a little, you can say, happy with regards to Darby Allin that now he is not injuring himself. Now he is only breaking the law, and maybe he would get jailed. That is only the thing that he is doing right now. He is not injuring himself. He's not doing crazy stunts like a 5-year-old kid. He is
At
injuring
least
others.
in all seriousness, at least they are doing this kind of stuff with professional stuntmen or stuff like this.
Yes, yes, obviously. And it was very, you can say, blatant, the message. It was not, uh, you can say, little shadowed or better produced or something like that. No, it was just out in the open. Get in the car, smash the window, get in the car, and just run the guy over who is dressed as Cody in the suit, wearing a mask of Cody and smoking the cigar.
So we had a main event. The main event was a six-man tag team match. We had Cody and the Gun Club versus Colt Cabana, John Silver, and 10. So this went 8 minutes. So can you help me with some of the highlights of this match? Because the one thing I got from this is that this match was designed to put over Austin Gunn, who was the one who got the win here. So what
Yes.
happened in the match?
With regards to this match, I didn't, uh, you can see any of the said, you can say, a story being uh, you can say, implemented in the ring. It was just going there and there. Just chaos. It was just another match on the card. It was There was not any sense of urgency or a sense of investment. Yes, you are absolutely right. It was basically done to introduce the Gun Club and introduce Austin Gunn and to put over Austin Gunn, which I expect that wherever he was in the ring, he was impressive, in my opinion. And Darby Allin was sitting in the rafters, and uh, with regards to Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes, they went to a time limit draw in their singles interaction in their first meeting. Dark Order, that is basically 10 Cody Vance, John Silver, and Colt Cabana applied the isolation technique on Austin Gunn. And at the end, Austin Gunn hit the hip toss neck breaker that was called the quick draw, which sealed the victory for their team. And basically, it was a great debut for Austin Gunn. And that's what all there was. And they basically hyped the match, the TNT championship match with Cody and Darby Allin. And also there was an interaction with regards to John Silver and Orange Cassidy. So there that match is also on the card. John Silver versus Orange Cassidy. John Silver was uh, thinking of attacking all the members of the Nightmare family in the post match with the chair, but Orange Cassidy came and he just snapped away the chair, and they had an interaction outside on the rampway. So that's also great, hyping their feud.
So I guess that was Dynamite.
Yes, that was Dynamite, and at the end we had a promo from Cody Rhodes hyping their their match, Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin. It was a little, you can say, real versus real, a little heartfelt, but it didn't give much with regards to the show. He said something to the lines of the that Darby, you think that I or and the TNT officials do not think that you are worthy of being the face of TNT and hold the TNT championship, but uh, right now the only thing is you are very talented at TNT, would be happy to have you as the face, but the only thing that is stopping you from being the TNT champion is me. I am the ace of this company and you are not the ace. That is what he basically said. That was Dynamite.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, it was a decent show, mainly done. Everything involving this show was mainly done to hype full game.
And as it should.
Yeah,
And as it should.
and so let's get straight to the predictions for full gear.
Yes, full gear on
So,
Saturday.
so as of now, there are 9 matches on the card. So expect the pay per view to be at least 4 or 5 hours,
Oh,
including the no at least let's say 4 hours, including the buy-in.
mm-hmm. All right.
So let's start with Orange Cassidy versus John Silver, which was originally in the buy-in, but they decided to put in the main card.
Yes. Uh, I am going with the favorite Orange Cassidy. Uh, I guess. that he would be winning the match, as they have put so much in Orange Cassidy and they have built him up so much. So I would expect Orange Cassidy to get a victory against John Silver. But I can expect that there could be a post-match interaction with the return of possibly Brody Lee.
I'm also going with Orange Cassidy, and I think that they have put this match on the main card to, let's say,
Um, butter the Young Bucks because John Silver is their friend.
no, another point.
Draw the being the lead fans to buy the pay-per-view.
In all seriousness, I think they want to focus. Uh, they wanted to give more focus on this match. They are like they felt putting it in the buy-in was little unfair to them. So why not
Yes,
give?
putting Orange Cassidy in the buy-in. Yes, it is bad, of course.
No, at least
They have
they could use at least 8 to 10 minutes on the main card.
yes, of course. They have put in so much work with regards to Orange Cassidy. They have put him against the likes of Cody, against the likes of uh, Chris Jericho. So he should not be pushed to the buy-in. I I sort of agree with that.
And even John Silver could benefit a lot from being on a main card match.
Yes, absolutely.
We have the NWA Women's Championship match. This was last moment decision from AEW, I guess. Serena Deeb versus Allison K. Who you got?
Uh, I got Serena Deeb as she has just won the NWA Women's Championship from Thunder Rosa at Prime Time Live, which is being aired on pay-per-view by Fight, and it is basically a presentation of NWA and United Wrestling Network (UWN). So I do not expect a title change this soon. And yes, there is a thing with regards to Alison Kay that she is now not under contract with NWA, so she could be signing with any other promotion. If she has a good showing or a great showing in the buy-ins, maybe AEW could be interested in signing her.
In and Okay, so I'm picking Allison K to win here.
Hmm.
Because, like you said, she's not signed with AEW right now.
Hmm.
So in that way, you get the title of Serena Deep, and Serena Deep can focus mainly on the AEW Women's title picture. And
Hmm.
so for that reason, I'm picking Allison K. And if AEW don't see this and don't sign Allison K, then I will say that Tony Khan is a idiot of a promoter.
Stupid idiot.
Yes.
Stupid idiot. All right.
We Next we have, let's see, the ultimate. No, it's not the ultimate. It's the elite division match between Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. But before I pick a winner, I they could AEW could have moved this match from the pay-per-view and put it on a Dynamite instead.
Probably.
But
Probably, but
yeah, go on.
but the stature of Matt Hardy and the fact that they have to uh, book this as an end game of the feud, then they booked it at a pay-per-view instead, which is cool. No problem.
So who you got for this match?
Mm, I expect Sammy Guevara. I expect Sammy Guevara to win.
I'm picking Matt Hardy because um it's his match. It's the deletion type of match, so I think he will go over.
Hmm.
And seeing it a deletion type of match, we have seen the ultimate deletion match, the final deletion match. So I expect this elite deletion match to be great, like the previous two matches.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
So next we have Chris Jericho and MJF. If MJF wins, he joins Inner Circle.
Hmm. Uh, there are two scenarios to this. Either MJF is winning or MJF just uh, kicks Jericho in the balls and says, I don't give a fuck about your inner circle, basically. Uh, and that is not a metaphor to his balls, please. Uh, so
So you,
I uh, I would go with MJF because I want a long, stretched out story with regards to this feud. That is why I am going with MJF winning the match.
I'm also for this match. I'm going with MJF. I will agree on that. There will be some long-term stuff, and there is a major possibility, like we predicted in the Dynamite reviews, that MJF will take over Inner Circle. Maybe.
Hmm. That could be good with regards to that. Yes, then Chris Jericho can transition into a baby face as he is, basically a cool kind of a baby face as he is because he gets that sort of a reaction from the crowd. Besides his uh, stuff which he gets in hot water with on Twitter, but uh, overall with the crowd, yes, he gets that reaction. He is a baby face. So in long term, it could be great.
We have the AEW Women's Championship match: Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose. I think this is one of another match that they could have get got out of the pay-per-view, but seeing it's a championship match, so I think AEW decided, let's book this match anyways.
Mhm.
So I think I'm going with Nyla Rose because Shida did her stuff with the title, and I think it's not progressing in terms
Yes,
of the booking and stuff. So why not put the title back on Nyla Rose?
yes, same. I agree. I agree. It would be a change and there would be fresh feuds and different scenarios, and change is always good now. They have done enough with Shida.
We have the AEW Tag Team Championship match: FTR versus the Young Bucks. If Bucks lose, they will never get an AEW Tag Team titles match ever again. And also, Tully Blanchard is banned from ringside. It is being said on the Wikipedia page.
Oh, I didn't know that. Uh, now, what will happen? Will the Young Bucks book themselves as a winner and say that we are the superior tag team, or will it with the FTR as a lengthy title reign and to withhold and maintain the prestige of the championship? So this is the question. Uh, I would want, uh, I would pick FTR to win. Uh, some shenanigans could be get there so as to prolong this feud. So right now, I would go with FTR.
I'm also going with FTR because you have to remember that the Young Bucks, they have something going on for the last month or so, a change of attitude. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the bringing back the old elite along with Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So on that basis, I think the FTR are winning this match. And speaking about the stipulation, what did you think when they announced it that it's going to be like this?
Unnecessary. Why would they just do it? It only their match would have sold it enough. Just doing it with the sake of doing it. Cody has done it before. We should do it again. It makes it doesn't add anything more to the set match. I don't know. It didn't make sense even. There was an interaction with the commentators in between that. Why have they? Why has Matt Jackson even said this or chosen this stipulation? There wasn't even a clear answer. One guy said that there is added pressure, so in added pressure they perform better. So what logic? What logic is that? Added pressure, there is hundreds of things other than that. I don't know. Uh,
Yeah,
if
I also agree on your statement right there, because it's one thing with Cody what he did last year, because we were emotionally invested in Cody's storyline last year,
hmm,
but not we are not feeling the same thing here with the Bucks. So the injury angle was, oh, that was the only thing that they should have done. This
yes,
felt a little forced.
I agree.
So you're going with the FTR.
Yes,
So I'm also picking FTR to win this match. We have the TNT Championship match: Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin.
I am going with Darby Allin winning this match. And after also hearing what Cody said in his uh, promo to end the show, I expect probably Darby Allin is winning this match. And there, even if there is some interaction with the said legend, with the rumors are going around that his character or his persona personifies judgment or being right or doing things right. And we have seen Cody in the recent past doing things which were not right and winning matches where there were interactions, even with uh, Arn Anderson getting involved, even with him uh, showboarding and stuff like that. So probably this would be the crowning moment of Darby Allin. So it would be good.
Even I'm going with Darby Allin. We also need to consider that they have a long history together, Cody and Darby Allin, which I think they didn't do justice bringing that story on Dynamite for the last 2 3 weeks.
Yes, they didn't. Their first interaction, they had a time limit draw, and in this promo also, which closed the show, this Cody said that I was the one who batted for you, and I was the one who pitched your name to the EVPs to sign you, and uh, with the match which I had with you, which was the time limit draw, that was one of the things which really put you over with the said officials also. So uh, yes, I agree. So maybe these things would be accentuated in the program which is airing on Friday, Countdown to Full Gear, probably.
Yeah, so on that basis, like you stated, I'm picking Darby Allin because it's a must-win situation for him.
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah, we have Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega for the finals of the AEW World Championship tournament. Who you got?
Uh, I am going with Kenny Omega. Now it has to be done now. He has to become that guy who he was in Japan. It has to come to full manifestation. So we have to see that vicious side of him, which would also uh, catalyst into the growth, the sympathy for Hangman Page in the coming time. So I am picking Kenny Omega.
Even I'm picking Kenny Omega because it looks like that's the obvious choice for like Omega is the obvious choice to take the title of Moxley. So I'm also going with Omega.
Mhm. Yes.
The main event is John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston for the AEW World Championship. An I Quit match. Who you got?
Uh, the thing is that whatever we think as fans that Eddie Kingston is great on the mic, he kills it on the microphone. His journey, his 18-year-old journey from scratching and clawing in the indie scene and now being on in one of the top wrestling promotions in the world, All Elite Wrestling. That it is a great story, and the things that he said, the likes of not giving his mother a daughter-in-law, a grandchild, and it is a compelling story. But the fact is that a promotion, a worldwide renowned wrestling promotion, would not have a guy like Eddie Kingston as their face, or even a top champion. So uh, I would not be uh, seeing that Eddie Kingston would be winning this match. John Moxley would be retaining the championship, but it would be an awesome match that I can expect.
They can put the title on Kingston, but I feel like this is not the time for it.
Hmm.
But
Yes,
they
that
all,
too.
yeah, go on.
No, that too. I agree.
But the obvious winner here has to be Moxley. So I'm going with John Moxley to retain the title.
Yes.
So those were the predictions for Full Gear.
Yes.
So before we leave, where can these guys find you?
Guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Abimaniac, AWBYMANIAC. And currently, I am working with an independent wrestling promotion here in India called Wrestle Square. I'm working with them as a commentator and as an on screen talent. You can subscribe to their YouTube channel at Wrestle Square, and you can also follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestle Square.
You can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamHubW, Instagram at SlamHub Wrestling. Our podcast and reviews are mainly audio based, and if you don't want your YouTube app running for that, then you can catch Slamhub Wrestling on Anchor and Spotify as well. This was the AEW Dynamite review, and we'll see you guys next time.